Hi. Good. Hello. Hello, darling loves. Hi. How are you? I like to check and see how things are going with the audio. I've got a microphone here that anybody that's on right now, I'd love to hear from you if you can hear me okay. We bring these broadcasts to life, and we know that the magic of the way that this picture, this moving image, beams to satellites around the beautiful aqueous orb that we share on this earth is a hug. And you extend a reach, and I extend a reach, and together we gather. And the longer we're together, the smoother that hug becomes, the tighter the embrace. So you can hear this usually pretty well. I'll take a quick peek and see if anybody can hear. Okay, good. Okay, good. Pass the Wine says it sounds good. And thank you, Caitlin. I'm so glad that you can hear me. Hi, Rash. Oh, it's so good to see you. Thank you. So I have the privilege of having a broadcast expert in my life that described to me why the picture becomes smoother the longer we're together. And I rearranged it the way that I love to do as a two-sided embrace. And your embrace has information and my embrace has. And the longer we're gathered, it's like that fabulous dovetailing can occur and the picture becomes smooth. Already becomes smoother from what I can see. So I may have to make a little adjustment with my machine that I'm working with here and there. But for those of you that are new, I want to say welcome. It's beautiful to have you here. I'm very happy to have all of us gathered. We begin the same each and every time by striking a wooden match and lighting a candle. We do this so we have a singular focus, a bindu point, a way that we gather around our beautiful flame. And what I've been doing is lighting two candles, one for our collective and one for our subscribers, because what I do like to share with you that I'm feathering my nest over here on YouTube, and I choose to bring you into the reality of that this broadcast is brought to you for free, and I'm so happy to do it, and I'm really happy for folks to subscribe so it keeps me healthy. I'm very open to receiving abundance from this moment, and so I light this singular candle that's spiraled for our collective and for my subscribers to say, I'm here and our spirits are here. We are listening. We're open. We're ready to receive the messages that are meant for us. And we utilize this smoke to cleanse the feed. Oh, isn't that pretty? I got this simple candle, which looks kind of fancy, at a thrift store. I urge you to go into thrift stores and purchase candles that have even been burned before. It's such an important, special time to be about the simplicity of our lives. So today's Witch's Brew will be all sort of documented in my YouTube community tab and also on my Instagram stories. I urge you to reach out and say hello on Instagram because I adore following back. I want to let you know that I really hold space for everybody in this space to have something to drink, to hydrate. I'd love to say hello real quick and see where everybody is in this wild world as I take a sip of this brew, which has a citrus base for our health. And I drink this brew to celebrate being the body for this work to flow to you in our wild world. So, I'm physically in California, and this brew has a base of Cara oranges that are in season right now. It's a dimensional brew because I've got 13 whole cloves in it to celebrate the 13 moons of 2020 and all of their dynamism And we'll be working with the word dynamism and casting a spell for community today. So where is everybody? Let me say hello really quickly. Now that I've lit candle, we'll consecrate our session in just a moment, and then we'll call in the four corners and spiraling into center for spirit of our altar. We'll get started. We will, of course, always, always, always begin our sessions with a beautiful poem, and we'll cast our spell for community in just a second. So where is everybody? I know that Rash is here from Zurich, and it's beautiful to have you. For those that don't know Rash, they have a fabulous Twitter account called Stay Woke Tarot, which is very active with the card of the day, a beautiful YouTube channel, which I adore, and a fabulous Instagram account. They're one of my favorite people in the World Wide Web. And oh, when we gather in real life, will the sparks fly. I love you, Rash. It's great to have you here. Where is everyone? Hi, Teresa. It's good to see you. Teresa, are you in Michigan? I can't remember. Oh, and Aries Rising is here from Tennessee. It's good to see you, sweetheart. Good. Pass the Wine is on lockdown in Michigan. It's good to see you. Hi, Sophia in South Florida. Oh, no matter. I haven't seen you here before. Welcome from Winnipeg, Canada. I'm happy to see you. Diana Rose, I'm so happy to see you. Diana Rose has an Instagram account, which is so important. They're called Damashana on Instagram. They're one of my favorite writers and an incredible astrologer and tarot card reader. I adore working with them in real life occasionally. They got work at the last Open Eye Crystals 2-year celebration, and that's where I last saw them. And we also were volunteering together at the Tarothon for, gosh, I don't remember, Damashana, honey, were you at the Indigenous Earth Tarothon? I think we did the Tarothon together that I created that was for immigrant justice. So yeah, they're a must follow on Instagram. And Maria is here saying hello from Arizona. Virginia in the house with Amanda. So good. Yeah, Damashana, Diana Rose is here in Los Angeles. And Samuel Gonzalez is in Atwater, California, which is the Central Valley. Hello, how are you doing up there? We're about to get a bunch of rain here in California. Kentucky's here. Hi, Minnie Mouse. It's good to see you. Oh, I'm so sorry that you're suffering from pneumonia or the virus. You'd love some hope and positive vibes from the collective. You got it. Because, you know, I like to refer to this as my Worldwide Kindness Coven. I'm always blown away by all the kindness that I see in our chat. It makes me so happy, and I thank you for that. I do have 2 teenagers that live in this household that absolutely kind of live to bust people that are being spicy and maybe kind of with sensuous comments in our chat. So we have a good time. But for the most part, this Kindness Coven is just warming our souls and here for all. Yeah. Okay, so Cover Central, thank you. No work today. Oh, so sorry for those that may not be feeling well. Hi, Effie. It's good to see you. All right. Oh, I'm so happy that Madison's here from Open Eye Crystals. It's good to see you, honey. Yes. And my loves, shall we take a collective sip together so everyone can drink to their health now? I have a gorgeous poem to share with you. It's from Kalie Brum. And my son Boone selected this poem for us today. It's called Unity is Community. In our communities, it's all about seeking positive opportunities. Opportunities which can also be a solution of a revolution. Revolution, a drastic change in the way we think and behave. We can behave where we can engrave in our world's history to make a switch to enrich the minds of young ones, to show it about going for our goal and hitting a home run, and that life doesn't have to be living by a gun. But to make a change, we have to look within our hearts, and in our hearts, fill in the missing parts. Then once that happens, helping ourselves and others can start. But like I said, it's all about positive opportunities and bringing the community together in unity. Because without unity, there is no such thing as community. Oh, lovely. Thank you so much, Boone. I appreciate this deeply. I can't even tell you what a uniquely special time this is in our household. When I say special, I would like to kind of reclaim the word special, because special means unique. It doesn't always mean optimistic and positive. It means specialized and simply different. And so I must say that this space right now, I'm one of those sandwich folks that's got elder parents that are in their 80s and teenage kids under my roof. And my partner and I both have the privilege of having both of our parents alive still in their animal body. And they are in uniquely 3 different places on the globe. My folks just happen to be the eldest of the quattro of both of my partners and my parents that are living. And they are the most vulnerable because of lifestyle and because of their age. They're the most vulnerable in this health scenario that we're in the world, this very special time. And also, you know, basically raising teenagers right now. My partner and I are sharing with one another that we have never experienced so much challenge with it. We look back with a lot of fondness of the toddler years now because of how challenging it is to be raising teens in a situation where we are in the world right now. So I'd like to create space in this space with a little bit of a content warning, because this is a unique time right now of challenge, a unique time right now, a specialized and dynamic time right now, where the knowing of change has zoomed into focus, and all of us are together in a singular subject in no other way that has been in my 54 years of life. I don't know of another time where we, as a world, as a global community, have all had the precise same knowing and precise same challenge at the same time. And inside of that challenge, the knowing that we're so together. And yet there's this complexity, because in that togetherness, we're safest when we're apart right now. That makes things very soft and very hard at the same time. It makes things black and white and gray all over, because we need each other more than ever. It makes things uniquely sort of aware that the only thing we have is dynamism. The only thing that we have is change. And that's always been the way it is. And at this moment, we know it more than we've ever known it. Wow. Hard and soft, black and white, together and separate. These are some wild times, and I'm here for it. So if this is a space that facing that dynamism and facing that hard and soft and facing our togetherness and separateness, if that is triggering and that feels unsafe on any level, I feel like I need to say this content warning, that we will be facing those challenges here together today. Last Friday on my weekly live stream, we created a spell specifically for hope. And the hope that we cast together, like no other spell that I've cast in this space, and no other spell that I've cast in space, Have I ever asked folks to be so present and so verbal if they had the agency and the privilege to do so? We cast our spells for hope by talking about the things that we have survived, utilizing hope. And it was a very lively chat space with folks talking about the things that they've survived. And we also talked about the fabulous word surthrive that my dear heart Edgar Fabian Frias created. I actually, that was brought to me by them. I don't know if they're the creator of that word, but I hold space for that because they brought it to my life. And I'm so happy to disseminate that from my nest here on YouTube. So we talked specifically about surthrival through really challenging things, and you get a chance to see what people have endured to remain alive. I've got a crow cawing outside in my front yard here in California. I'm avowed to do several things on this channel, and one of them is to change locations as often as possible within my home for these broadcasts. And I do that with a lot of awareness of what I'm creating. It's not casual. It's not just because there's laundry piled up to the ceiling over there with, trust me, there is. Staying at home is its own challenge. Wow, are we ever going through dishes and food and tangled webs of laundry right now? I'm doing this to show you what this witchcraft looks like in my witch's body, that it's every day, that it's in the car, it's especially in the shower, that it's everywhere through my home. So you may understand that you're invited to share this witch's path with me, my witch's path. And in doing so, create your own witch's path and create your own magical life, however you name and claim it. Let's all take a sip of our witch's brew, shall we? Yes, so the base of the brew is Cara oranges, 13 whole cloves to celebrate the 13 moons of 2020, 3 whole allspice to celebrate your body, mind, and spirit. And for some of you that worship Goddess, the Maiden Mother and Crone, we also have very, very healthy amount of ginger to settle our tummy as some of the dynamism and the radical changes that we're facing are sometimes giving us a lot of butterflies or downright belly aches. These are some challenging times. So a lot of fresh ginger and big healthy shakes of ground cayenne pepper. This is a nice warming brew, and I believe in it so deeply. Like I said, I'll post it on my Instagram stories later because I love to share the beauty and power of witchcraft. Witch's brew, if we ever hang out, you know that I bring it with me everywhere I go. This is one of my all-time favorites because I'm living here in my home county, my lifelong home county of Orange County, California. So anytime I can add oranges to my brew, it helps me honor the land that I live upon in its complexity. It's blood soil because it's stolen land from the Tongva people and from the Chumash people. So I love to utilize the citrus in this brew to drink the complexity of thriving in the story so we may do better. For I am constantly referencing and casting my gargantuan spell to live and co-create and weave into and onto our grand shared web of life, a world where all are sheltered, fed, and have agency within their experience. Let's all drink to that. All right, let us check in and consecrate our session. I gotta be me. This Angela Mary witchcraft is always tracking back to who I am and what my experiences have been. So I love holy water. I was raised with holy water. I was so lucky to be asked by the fabulous Karina Rosella, who creates Rise Up Good Witch podcast on all of the spaces where you find podcasts, and on Instagram, Rise Up Slammer, exclamation point, Good Witch. I love Karina. They asked me to do their tarot stories, and I got to tell the story of holy water within my home and how water has changed my life, because I got to tell the story of the 9 of Cups. So it's really special. Did I say 9 of Cups? I meant to say Ace of Cups. So my darlings, we start with my resist mist. I love to create sweet sounds in this channel. So I'll make a little ASMR cuteness for you with this satisfying cap, as Jillian calls it. And resist mist is for protection. We shake well to sound the bell, which activates our spell. This is a grounding brew. Breathe deeply in through your nose. Drop your shoulders and say ma. Oh, thank you, resist mist. This is a grounding brew that has a nice black lava bead within to remind us to drop our root system deeply into the sweet soil of our Gaia and thrive. Next, we utilize my Moon Magick, which is in this yummy satin black bottle. It's got a quartz crystal bead within. Again, we shake well to sound the bell, which activates our spell. Breathe deeply in, relax your shoulders and say ma. Moon Magick is for manifestation. Really important to remember that every breath we take, every moment that we're alive is a manifestation. And there's gratitude in manifesting. So I love Moon Magick for reminding me to wake up and be grateful. Please pardon me, Monday is the moon day, and it's also trash day here where I live in my little cul-de-sac. So the trash truck just started going by because, of course, we're on the broadcast. Of course, the trash truck goes by. This is Aura. We shake well to sound the bell, which activates our spell. Aura's got tiger eye bead within, and it is for invocation. We are consciously invoking spirit guides and earthly lovers in this space. Breathe deeply in through your nose. Release through your open, sweet lips. Say ma. Lovely. Okay, my darling loves. One more sip. And we'll do another quick little check-in to say hello, and we'll call in those corners. It's so important that you know that this broadcast is developing and evolving consciously. This is not something that I sat down and storyboarded. This is something that I started very simply to say, I'm here. I am open and I am listening. And I choose and am honored to be the body for this work to flow through to you. This is not something that is created with a team. I am the team. My family supports me in this. So they just split to take a drive on PCH here in California. It's been very, very tough for my teenagers to experience this kind of hard and soft. Their school was canceled, yet they can't see their friends. Some of their friends are still gathering. There's a lot of challenges in the dialogue of who's allowed to gather and who's not, what different parents' perspectives are, what access people have, what freedom they have, what anxiety they have. This is a very complicated time to be teenagers. I just went through a situation with one of my kids recently where they had oral surgery, and it was right before I had my hip replaced. And so there was things being removed and things being implanted. And so we were very opposed, but also facing a surgical scenario. They were having some teeth removed before braces. Here comes the trash truck. And sorry about that for those of you. I hold a lot of space, folks that are disabled in this space. And I am very open to having a lot of highly sensitive persons here in our Worldwide Kindness Coven. And I apologize for those sounds. I try to create as safe and as still an environment as possible. But talking about those teenagers' experience in being able to see each other and not, and talking about what's going on in their bodies. They are having the peak of their hormonal stress complex within their bodies. And so they have to, when facing a surgical scenario or medical scenario, face a different set of challenges than any other folks in our population. I'm holding a lot of space for the stress that teenagers are under right now because they have such a heightened sense of stress already. And by stress, I really don't mean like pain and suffering. I mean the stress that created punk rock and some of the best art in the world. I hold space for all of that radical birthing, that bursting forth, that breaking out of the seed and the information of that shoot finding its way to the surface. It's a challenging time for teenagers right now to be offered space and freedom and be taken away from their loved ones and their friends. And there's a lot of online judging and sneering of one another, of who's allowed to hang out and who's not, who's partying, who's vaping. This is a time that's very complex for teenagers. So my soul goes out to my kids right now. I want to share with you in the immediate, this channel, this space is a love letter to my children. All of this is here for them. And that's the best way that I can do my best in the world, is to think about the generations to come as I think about it for my kids. So every spell that I cast, every circle that I gather is all for them. So I love you, Bird and Boone. I really, all of this is for you. So, darlings, when we cast a circle, if you have the ability in your body to create your body weight at 50-50, I ask you to try to do so now. I'll show you the altar that I've created next to me. I do the best I can to create a space right here where I don't have to move things around too much, but I have to make little adjustments here and there. So I apologize for the disturbance if that disturbs your spirit. I totally get it. I try not to make squeaks, but I might right now. I have started creating a simple black tray with the four corners and center for spirit and the spell elements for the spell that we're casting today. Lately, I'm obsessed with one of my favorite plant allies called Sankifoil. Do you know Sankifoil? If you were here 2 Fridays ago, I cast a spell with utilizing Sankifoil. I'll show you now. This is the spell elements for our spell for community today. We have Sankifoil on both sides, and we have a very powerful herb in the center called Whorehound. The spell for community today will be having an element that's dynamic. It's hard and soft. Sankifoil is the base of the word is cinq, which is 5 in French. We have un, deux, trois, quatre, cinq. Cinq is 5. This is sometimes referred to as the hand of Mary. It's sometimes referred to as a witch's hand because of our sometimes 5-abled fingers. The whorehound is for breaking spells. So I am very specifically about the hard and soft of these times right now, the black and the white mixing to a very challenging, very nuanced gray. So we'll talk about that in just a second. So I keep this next to us right now. Take a little sip before we collect our very first direction and corresponding element. This is the north, which is earth, our body, our home, our abundance and our food. Hail to the guardians of the watchtowers of the north, we say when we call in the corners. We worship this form, which is part of a larger form. This form of our animal body has a relationship with all sentient beings and all manifestations. What we create, what we co-create, moves through our body into the wild world. When we turn ourselves to the north, we turn ourselves to the bones, to the framework, to the knowing that we must focus our attention to our bodies. When we cast spells, we begin in the north and say, hail to the guardians of the watchtowers of the north, earth. Be here now. Please feel most welcome to state that with me. Be here now. Now we turn our attention to east, the element of air, air that brings us together now, because air is the internet. Air is poetry and music. Air is the dawn of new ideas. Air is your psychic abilities. Air is our language. It's our cries. Air is our deepest knowing. Guardians of the watchtowers of East Air, be here now. Please feel most welcome to say it with me. Be here now. Now we turn towards the south, the element of fire. Fire, our passion, our purification, our intensity, our ableness to move ideas forward with intensity, with vigor, with utter desire. Our life force, our sexuality, and we know that includes our asexuality. This space is the cauldron. Guardians of the watchtowers of the south, fire. Serpent energy. Renewal. Be here now. Please feel free and open to passionately say, be here now. All right, fire. Well, still flowing over here, friends. I have to do a small little emergency. Oh, yes. That was fun. Look, still going. There. I feel that and I see that. Thank you, fire, for gathering our complete attention. Now we turn towards the west, where I am water, the element of water, the water that binds us, the water that quenches us, the droplets that we reclaimed on Friday in our spell for hope, the droplets, the information, the communication of water, the destruction of water, the never ending and never more created water that is renewing us and recycling as we bring it into our body, move it through, exiting to regenerate and pull back up to the clouds and rain down upon us again. The droplets of water that have connected us in a very serious way on our earth right now, in the way that those droplets communicated information that is binding us together now as they moved from our mouths to others. Water, we see you. We know that you will cure and make us pure. Guardians of the watchtowers of the west, water, your droplets, be here now. Lovely. We spiral into the center of our altar. In the center of the altar, it's the jewel. It's you and spirit, which are one, for you are them and they are you. In the center, where all of everything that's ever been and that is presently and ever shall be is collected. The jewel of the lotus flower and the lotus flower itself. Hail to the guardians of the center of our altar. Spirit, be here now. Say it with me. Be here now. We shall take our time until the sweetness of this candle burns. There we go. Lovely. My darling loves, we are now between worlds. We have a safe, contained space. We are now in the cave. We are now at the beginning of this channel that I've created here, the floating stones of the core of this channel, where we have moved into this fecund and verdant field, this fertile field, where now we plant the seeds of wellness, the seeds of healing, the seeds of magic that are all of ours. This information that each one of us brings to this fecund field commingles with the beauty and power of all the information of all the other folks that are here. We are floating stones, creating this circle together, and we collect around this flame for warmth, for purity, for community. It feels so good to be here with everyone. I'm checking in and taking another very aggressive sip. It's always so special to cast these spells with you. I am humbled and honored that you're here. Thank you for taking the time. This broadcast becomes more and more specialized and unique each and every time that we gather. Especially now, especially now as so many of us throughout this wild world have chosen or not to be in our singular experience for the rest of each other. We're more connected than ever, and it's a real honor to have you here. I'm going to pour myself some more brew. What is everybody drinking out there? What's the witch's brew du jour out there, my loves? How's everybody holding up? We will begin by kind of encouraging folks that have not been here before to know that you are so welcome. If you have the privilege to be seen in this chat, you're so welcome to say hello and introduce yourself. There's folks that are here from the very beginning, and they will welcome you with open arms. I'm certain of it. That's delicious. I am creating space for Moon Tarot from the Circle of Life Tarot by the wonderful and also mysterious Maria Di Stefano, which is an Italian artist that has helped me heal from some tarot hurts over the years. I love round tarot, and I used to utilize a deck which became very, very harmful. So I'm really happy that Maria Di Stefano's deck, literally in my favorite witch shop that I've gone to for over 20 years here in Orange County, fell on my foot one day when I was saying to folks that I love and adore, one of them, Sarah Faith Gottesdiener, I said, I've gone tarot blind. I've been a reader for over 30 years. I was saying that I'd gone tarot blind because I was so harmed by the deck that I previously used. And I stayed very open. I wanted to get my daughter the Halloween tarot deck. So that was my, I'll say, beard, the reason why I was there, when really Magick had pulled me into my favorite occult shop. And I literally was just hurting in my heart. I found that Halloween tarot deck for Bird, and then this deck fell on my foot. It actually came in a square box, so I didn't even know it was round till I got home. Maria Di Stefano has been kind of invisible to me in the World Wide Web. I kind of can't find them. The creatures that they create in this deck are less gendered, and they are uniquely non-human form. They seem very fey, these creatures, so I find them less harmful. And right now I'm in the throes of designing and creating my own deck that I'm just working title is Moon Tarot, and it's a round deck because I love to read tarot from multiple perspectives, not just upright and reversed. There's a left and right tilt, and I'm working within a system now that I'll get into later with you, but right now know that we're using the Circle of Life Tarot by Maria Di Stefano, giving it a good hearty shuffle. After we're done with our Moon Tarot for each zodiac sign, I do kind of pull some cards for folks that have burning questions. We work together in this space for about an hour. I'm open to going longer. Please feel so free to just kind of put your machine down or your device down and go use the loo when you need to, or grab a snacky or get your witch's brew. Don't feel like this is a pressureful scenario, honeys. This is about you creating body comfort and pleasure. And it's never been more important than now. Isn't that the truth? As we are at once isolated and together, we are keeping ourselves as positive and well as possible for others. So, darlings, it's a complex time, and let's look into this Moon Tarot, which gives me the agency to speak from my psychic ability, to speak from my wellness, to speak from my privilege, the words that I know and the words that Spirit gives me for each sign of the zodiac. Okay, cuties? So we'll just shuffle a bit more, and it wasn't quite a jumper that popped up, but there was the Nine of Swords showing a second ago. I do know that sleep is challenging for so much of us right now. Weirdly, I got a great night's sleep last night. However, these are some wild times. I did dream last night about Velcro. I heard Velcro ripping apart, and I felt the effort in my muscles. So those were strange dreams. I know all of us are really connected right now. So there's a lot of energy flying around. So my loves, here we go. I'll move my witch's brew just a bit. And then what I like to do for those of you that are new here, I like to toggle this down so you can see me cozy in my chair. And I like to kind of do my best to have you witness for authenticity me breaking the deck with my left hand, as is tarot tradition. And that's fun. You can see our altar over here too. And then back into one. There we go. Because I do so like you to know that for me, some of you that have been here before know that I have some key words for 2020. And one of them is kind of a 2 words. It's called hyper real. Last year I had a word called real. That was my word for 2019. It's hyper real now for 2020. And I've been talking about that. So I do like you to see this. I'm not here to trick anybody. I'm just here to treat you. And I must disclaim that I'm not a doctor, but this is my sweet medicine. Mwah. Love you all, sweethearts. I hope you're well. So let's boogie, okay? I want to just show you that I like to be human in this space. And I do like to write down the whole zodiac so I can go one by one, starting with Aries. This is not about being like the most smooth person in the whole wide world, but I do like to create a smooth broadcast if it's at all possible. But I really like to see those zodiac signs. It helps prompt me to move forward for everyone and not leave anyone out, okay? There's no extra points for memorization at this channel, okay, cuties? Even the most seasoned witch can stumble over their words sometimes. And that's part of why I like to move around my house, so you can kind of see the realness, the hyper realness of my humanity, the hyper realness of like that old lady next door that's a witch. It's really important that you know this is flowing through a human form that can stumble on their words and maybe accidentally skip Taurus if I don't have it all written down. So Aries babes, how are you doing? Here we go. You know that this is our, gosh, I like to show you the things that I utilize too. So I'm going to pop this open here real quick and show you that I have an app on my phone called Deluxe Moon that shows us it's the last quarter moon and that the moon is in Capricorn today. I just want to make triple sure that we've got it all together here. There you go, honey loves. So I recommend Deluxe Moon. It's not perfect, but it helps, you know, anything that helps us keep that framework together. I am ready for you, Aries. Here we go, cutie. All right, so you've got the left tilted 2 of swords. I see that there's a lot on your mind for your closest inner circle, and that's appropriate. And to shift the feelings that are flowing through your body from anxiety into the peaceful calm of your firm. So try your hardest to deep breathe, because funny about breathing, it keeps you alive. It keeps your lungs expanding, and it has you entering your body where you're most comfortable, Aries. Enter your body, Aries. You're being called to enter your body into the space of your body where you can make better informed choices rather than your mind. So your loved ones that you're so concerned about will actually be more comfortable and calm when they see you being more comfortable and calm. Okay, we're looking for calm comfort for you, Aries. I love you, sweetheart. Okay, cuties, here's Taurus. So Taurus, you've got this super duper right tilted star card, almost looking like it wants to either descend to reversed or become upright. So as things are shifting and changing, as the dynamism of this time is kind of pulling you out of your groundedness, look to the stars, look to the celestial map, to our interconnectedness for your comfort. When you're tempted to create a depressive environment for yourself, look to the stars. I really think if it's at all possible for you, night walks would be helpful. Very safe and comfortable night walks if you're living in a space where you have physical ability to be out beneath the night sky. Even 5 little minutes would be helpful. Because the star card is 17, I would really like to see you set a 17-minute timer to just release from a bit of a loop of depression and get beneath that night sky. Okay, Taurus, I hope that helps, cute heart. And I'm just kissing everyone today. I love you. I understand that these bodies of ours need flesh contact in order to be fully whole and give us brain calm and nourishment. Because of that, there's complexity now. I must sip because this is about sensuality, not sexuality, although if a sexual peak experience happens while you're observing your sensuality, that's great too. You must give yourself flesh pleasure now, as some folks are not able to have physical contact with others. All right. You must give yourself that dry skin brushing experience. Give yourself that oiling nourishment that you need with whatever oils you have handy. I would say maybe to stick with nourishing oils. If you have like jojoba oil, almond oil would be wonderful. Even if you just have a tiny little dab of oil, if you're conserving, just at the temple to give yourself that wonderful sensuous touch. All of the zodiac needs that right now, especially Taurus. All right, cute hearts. Here's Gemini. Gemini, 3 of Wands. Pretty darn upright 3 of Wands, just slightly left tilted, showing that you're about to burst forth in passion inside of a group. It might be a bit too hot to handle. Maybe this is time for you to turn this into more psychic soothing rather than words that could be misconstrued or concerning. This could look like maybe not sending that harsh email if you're not happy with how leadership is functioning in one arm of your life right now. It might be time for you to fire up your psychic abilities. Take it back to your altar right now, Gemini. We need you. We need you purified and well. So please utilize your smoke cleansing abilities right now and take to your social spaces to be witnessed in this purification if you have the agency of doing so. I hope that helps, Gemini. Love you. I want to let you know also that in the description of these videos, it might take me a couple of hours, but I go back and timestamp all of the Moon Tarot. Isn't this a beautiful cup? This is my sweetheart's grandmother's cup, and I drink this with radical intention today because I urge you all, and I say this in deep, deep sincerity, to please consider choosing to be alive right now as consciously as possible inside your thought processes, and think about your ancestors that consciously lived for you to be alive. And think about the seed, which is your body, which no matter how you exit this earth, takes information with it. So please be very conscious in your choice to stay alive right now. And so I drink deeply from this grandmother cup for all of your life forces right now to grow and flow and to choose life. I love you all. Cancer cuties, here we go. Okay, so Cancer cuties, you've got the reversed Emperor card. The reversed Emperor card. It's the Emperor year right now that we're experiencing, and this reversal is vast. And it's also going into the spectacular unknown. It's spectacular because it's an unknown like we've never consciously all known at the same time. And I understand that that is rocking the boat and it's pushing you into the deepest waters that you have, Cancer. I understand that your structure right now is wobbly and that's got you on some funky chicken legs right now. And I'm so here for it. Enjoy those funky chicken legs right now. You do not have to know how this is going to turn out. The one thing that you do need to know is how you desire it to turn out and to focus on that. Focus on how you would like this to turn out rather than how it isn't turning out well for you. Whew, funky chicken. You got to do the funky chicken, Cancer. Ooh la la. All right, Leo cuties, here we go. You've got the slightly right tilted Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords, honeys, you guys are the helpers right now, Leo. I would like everyone to swallow right now and enjoy that feeling. Let's do it together. The simple enactment of creating our body's functions. And we'll do that together in a little bit when we create and cast our spell for community. We'll do community and actions like swallowing together. Leo, this relates to you because knights are helpers and we need your help right now. Do your best with your written and spoken words, especially if you have any kind of platform or audience. Please do your best to encourage folks to do their best. And that's different for all of us. All of our best is a different kind of form and shape. Do your best with all of your ability and your written and spoken words to encourage folks to do their best. And I know you can do it, and I thank you for doing it. Mwah. Love you, cuties. All right, honeys, here's Scorpio. All right, Scorpios, you've got the reversed Ace of Cups. The reversed One of Cups is what Maria Di Stefano calls it. This is the reverse Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is about self-love. This is all about that simple enactment of loving yourself. And I know that you had a really super awesome, good plan going in your mind. And now that the timeline of that is shifted and changed, that could look really, really frightening to you right now. So please double down and dive a little deeper. You can do it. You must be informing your toe tips to enter the deep waters of your self-love right now and start there, and then take the beautiful psychic journey into the roots, into the systems that co-creates and communicates and commingles all of our information deep, 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 deep in the soil. All right, cuties? Just because this is changing shape and it's not turning out the way that you planned for it to, your big self-love journey, doesn't mean that you still can't do it as is. Honeys, Virgo, this is a come as you are party. All right. So be at the party that we're at together right now and do your best to calmly put your toe in the pool of self-love. Put all of your hope and information into the root system and ground a little deeper. Mwah. Love you. All right, cuties. About this time, I like to take another aggressive sip. All right, cuties, here we go. Libra time. Libras, we have the right tilted Queen of Cups. When we look at the right tilted Queen of Cups, it's a hard right tilt. That means this is happening IRL, in real life. the messages that you know for how the body will be well, how the body will be well, is yours to speak. Libra, speak the words to your core cauldron and coven of how the body will be well. Wow, that was a tongue twister, Libra. I'm going to do my best in the description of this video to write that down, because this is kind of feels like an incantation to me. You must communicate to the cauldron of your coven how the body will be well. Mwah. Lovely. Ooh, Scorpio. Here we go. Scorpio. Very hard right turned world card. Scorpio. Okay, I'm already editing myself and I don't care for that, Scorpio. So I'm admitting to you, because this is hyper real, that I edited myself. You love this shit. You love intensity. It's your time to shine. We need your radical, piercing edge of the athame to run down in between those veils and ride. Take your messages and ride. You love this intensity. We are creating a new world with the experience that we're in right now, and you love this intensity. So be about it and get her done. Be safe as you do this, Scorpio. Be safe in how you utilize that piercing edge of your stinger, of your athame, to pierce the veils, because you act like you fire, but you water. Okay? I love you. There we go. Sagittarius. Oh, darling loves. Very hard 3 of Swords. Very hard 3 of Swords. This shows that there can be movements inside of you that look a little bit like the Queen of Denial. It's okay. In a dynamic situation, it takes time, a lot like how sound travels. It takes time for the body to catch up to the mind. And it's okay that there's moments where we're going through grief stages. And one of the core stages of grief is denial. It's okay that you cannot effing believe what's going on. I'm here for that. None of us can effing believe what's going on. And I love you very much. Take your time, because like how sound travels, let your body catch up to your mind. I think that your morning practices are spectacularly important. How you wake the baby, we'll call it, is really important. Please rock and coo yourself awake each day, my darling. You are the most important you to you. So wake the baby you with love. Tell yourself that you're alive. Tell yourself that you are important, and tell yourself with the sounds that you create in music and poetry and movement, maybe light a stick of incense and just enjoy scrying the smoke through the air. Show yourself that you're in your body and you're okay. Okay, Sagittarius, let your body catch up with your mind, especially on the big news days. Okay, we've all had big news days inside of this space that we're in right now. And when you have big news days, really soothe that inner infant. I love you. Like to call these hot cards cuties. All right, Capricorn, here we go, cuties. You've got the left tilted justice card, Cappy. Now, this is your last quarter moon, because the moon's in Capricorn right now. And I know this left tilt shows that it's literally kind of not fair what's going on right now. You have so much knowing of where things quote unquote should be. You have this grand mental capacity to know what's fair and what's right. And right now it just lives inside your mind. You've got to be journaling this right now, because honestly, you're having download after download right now, Capricorn. The next time that we go through something that brings our entire earth together, because there's going to be a next time, because we're getting so good at communicating as our world develops further ways of broadcasting our ideas to one another. The next time that we have a big moment where we're all gathered for one reason, you're going to actually have some really fabulous ideas about how we can thrive better. So please write down all of this, especially where it comes to social justice. So I would like to see you write in your book of shadows right now, social justice, and then free write. Let that pen or pencil fly with deep knowing, without any hear ye attitude about it or dear diary-ness to it. Free write in the I am, what you know about social justice where this time is concerned. Okay, Cappy? Love you. Oh, lovely. So special and important. So, darling loves, I must pour a little bit more of my witch's brew. Sorry, I bumped my machine. Before we move on to Aquarius and Pisces and a few MoonTarot questions, because I am here for it. All right, cuties. I try my hardest not to jostle things too much. Aquarius, my darling loves, here we go. You have the straight up, and I mean very boldly straight up, 4 of Cups. 4 of Cups. Wow. You're giving a lot right now. And because you're giving a lot right now, please remember the utter simplicity of feeding yourself. This looks to me like scheduled nourishment. Aquarius, you must schedule your nourishment right now, because you're giving so much. And this could have a around the clock look. I want you to be very conscious with how you clean yourself and nourish yourself. So those are aqueous actions. Those are water-based actions. All the ways that you're being in the water-based action, of course, of being the water bearer, that is very much an air sign. So that right there is made for these times of hard and soft, black and white and gray all over. Please schedule your bathing and your nourishment right now. This is very practical, okay? Because the giving that you're doing is really out there, really wild downloads right now. So take care, please. All right, honey loves, beautiful. And here we go, Pisces. Pisces, you have a kind of a topsy-turvy, sort of left tilted, looking reversed, could be ascending to a left tilt, 6 of Pentacles. 6 of Pentacles, showing a real I don't know, almost a feeling of anxiousness that you could be houseless, or you're very concerned about those that are houseless. This is a time right now for the real need for you to ground like never before. I understand that you want to spin out because that feels most natural. Please stay present so you can stay safe. Pisces, please stay present so you can stay safe. That is a physical thing to do. I want to just tell you, I don't want to edit this out. I really need this to be known. Trim up your nails, everybody. Your hands are the heart's messenger, and they're also viral loads messenger. So I will set this card down for a second and show you the way you wash your hands. First, you grab your hands and you twist, all right? and then you wash your thumbs, and then you wash your tips some more, because information flows from our heart, creating shapes in the world, but they're tips of our fingers hold the information from other surfaces and communicate that information to other surfaces. And sometimes those are people, including yourself. So really, 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 really wash your hands a bunch and wash your fingertips really well by twisting. Everybody see that twist? And then wash your thumbs, and then wash your fingertips in the palms of your hands, and do that for 40 seconds. All right, cuties. That was your little Mama Witch wash your hands tutorial. I hope you liked it. How's everybody doing? We got through the zodiac nicely. We'll take a few Moon Tarot questions if everybody feels like they have time. I see the chat's pretty lively right now, and I'll just put on my glasses and take a quick peek to say hey and see how everyone's doing today. Oh, I love you so much, Izzy. I see Fettle Witch is here. It's good to see you. The way that my machine works, sometimes the chat bursts forth. I'd like to know if anybody knows if someone else already asked to have a specific Moon Tarot question. You're really kind about noticing if there's a cue. I just want to know that that I hold space for this togetherness and fairness. Ah, lovely. Oh, that's wonderful, Rash. I know I loved that Aquarius reading for you. Okay, sweethearts. It looks like Minnie Mouse would like a card, and it looks like perhaps Rash would like a card. I will double check, Rash. I will let you hop in if you're still with us and say if you would like a card by raising your hand and saying Aquarius here. I'm going to take a little sip and wait for that chat to catch up. Lovely. Caitlin is saying that they became a hospice nurse they're become a hospice nurse tomorrow, and they're anxious about all to come, certainly borrowing trouble, would love guidance and support on initiating this journey. Wonderful. Okay, sweethearts. We'll wait for Rash to pop in and say if they would like a card. Minnie Mouse will go first with you, and then we'll talk to Caitlin and Sophia. That is so true. Sophia is so generously and kindly saying, wow, Caitlin, such powerful work. Good luck. Caitlin, now and then I like to very consciously gather this beautiful worldwide coven and surround folks. And right now we're surrounding you in all our love and magic, because that hospice work is radically important. In 2019, I lost somebody really special, and their family knew that they were passing. So they had that incredible privilege of having hospice, because not everybody's able to have hospice. And they were able to create a space where different folks were coming in with their hospice enactments. And I learned so much in one of our lives. Boone and I live with 3 percussionists. My family is all drummers, and Boone created a bespoke beat, a rhythm that we could create on our body. That percussion we learned last year when my friend was passing from the hospice that came in and did music ministry. That percussion creates endorphins and dopamine in the system. It creates wellness. It's stress relieving. So I want to really encourage all of us to kind of pat and pet ourselves in all of this time of need. And Caitlin, we're all surrounding you. I kind of would like everybody to create a little body percussion of super snaps for Caitlin tomorrow, moving into hospice. Your works and your path is divine, and your path and your works are blessed and anointed in this space. We're between worlds and surrounding you with magic and angels. And I love that you are sharing that here in this space. We're creating this body percussion for you, that you can listen for how you're guided in this new path. I think that in these days moving forward, we will hear more about hospice, and we'll hear more about death, and we will always welcome you here to teach us. So thank you, Caitlin. Sending you love. And Minnie Mouse's card is coming up, and then yours is after that. Okay, cuties, here we go. So Minnie Mouse, you've got the Two of Pentacles left tilted. Two of Pentacles left tilted. This Two of Pentacles that is left tilted is really telling you to stay a little bit more physically active in your first circle. I don't know what that looks like for you. You are the only one that knows what that inner circle is. I know that you're being quiet and probably trying to be calm right now, but there's a call for action. I think just doing simple things like cleaning all your surfaces right now and washing your body, trimming your nails, and making sure that your first circle around you is physically well is so important. So this is a call for you to be very physically present in your first circle, Minnie Mouse. I hope that helps, cutie. Mwah. Love to you. Now, Caitlin, here we go, cutie. Caitlin, you've got the the reversed Five of Swords. I absolutely love my girlfriend, Teresa Reed, who's believe how much free magic that they create in their blog. Bites, which is their podcast, and they have wonderful. When I'm very lucky and honored, I was able to tell Teresa and Sarah Faith Gottesdiener about one another. And Teresa is so great that they had Sarah Faith Gottesdiener on their Tarot Bites podcast to talk about difficult cards, to talk about quote unquote hard cards. Now, I love these two readers. I love those two witches because they're fearless and they're kind of intense too. So this is a fabulous episode. So while we're sort of set aside and we already know we're popping over to Stay Woke Tarot's beautiful daily Twitter feed, we're also popping over to the Tarot Lady Teresa Reed's beautiful blog and the Tarot Bites episode on hard cards. All right. That was a preface because Caitlin, honey, this is one of those hard cards. What does that mean? You know, when we look at swords, we look at things that move through air. This is heavy communication. When the Five of Swords upright in tarot tradition, sometimes we look at an argument, or we look at the fact that there could be a challenge with communication. Well, this is reversed. So, Caitlin, for me, this shows the journey, this inward journey of going through subjects that are difficult to speak about. And I can kind of see out of the corner of my eye that the picture looks like it's a little bit herky-jerky. And I hope that the sound quality is still in place. I want to ask you if that herky-jerkiness bothers you, if you're a disabled person, to close your eyes, because I'm pretty sure video is still good. And the picture will come back. It looks like it's come back smooth now. And I'm seeing there's a little smoothness. So, darling Caitlin, I believe in magic. And the fact that you have this hard card and the picture with a little wonky, but you could still hear, is telling you to create that real comfort of your mind, to control your mind as you're going into these spaces now, and educate your loved ones that you will stay safe and that you feel this deep inner call to do this work. Know that you're helping and teaching us by dealing with death, which is such a taboo subject in our culture. Caitlin, I don't remember if you said that you're American or if you told me that you were from Canada. I'm not positive, but let's just say you're American. Wow, is America ever freaked out about death? And our chickens have come to roost hardcore now. Now we have to face it. So everybody be running to the witches, because we know that we witches honor the full cycle of life, which includes death. All right. So you are being a person who's helping demystify and look at taboos and celebrate this space. Like night is half of our full day, death is part of everyone's life. So you're here to teach us. And I hope that that very long-winded preface and very long-winded complex answer helps. We are all watching you and protecting you and loving you and staying here when you come back to us after tomorrow. Okay, cutie? We'll be here waiting. Okay, honey? Love you. Wow. Lots going on in the collective. And let's just take a little peek here. I've got to put on my glasses now and then. Okay, sweethearts. I hope that helped. Okay, I'm glad. I love that, Rash. I see that you were waving your hand. That's what I wondered. And so Samuel Gonzalez was wondering if they could ask a card if there was general wisdom to share with others. They're a Leo. JB would like a card. Thank you for socializing with us. And yes, such power, Caitlin. Thank you so much, Rash Stay Woke Tarot, for stating that beautiful truth. Oh, you're signing off. Love you so much, Rash. Thank you so much for being here. It's so special to have you here. You're welcome, Caitlin. Oh, and Michelle Yates, absolutely. So we'll begin at the beginning and reverse this because everything's inside out and upside down. And this is a card for Michelle Yates in case they come and go as they're in a state of recovery right now. So Michelle Yates, this card is for you. You've pulled yet another one of the quote unquote hard cards. You must go over and listen to Teresa read the Tarot Ladies Tarot Bites with Sarah Faith Gottesdiener talking about difficult cards. This is the reversed Eight of Swords. This is really begging you to give yourself a mental break and really choose when you're going to be in a learning space and when you're going to be shutting back down to a resting space. So you'll have your days of learning where you keep the damper or valve open for information to come in, and where the other days are where you shut it off to recover. I hope that helps. Mwah. All right, cute hearts. I am going to say that we need to close down the Moon Tarot space now. And I love and appreciate you. I'll be here lots through all this where so many of us are choosing to be at our homes or made to be at our homes. I'll be popping onto this space more often. So we are getting ready to cast our spell now. This is casting a spell for community. We are utilizing the herbs of Sankafoil and the herb of Whorehound. Now, when you do your homework, you'll see that Whorehound can be a exorcism herb. I do not hold space for this being an exorcism right now. I am breaking the spell of the challenge of the coronavirus COVID-19. I'm utilizing Sankafoil on either side of the Whorehound. I'd like to start holding space for communities to flatten and put a damper on the challenges of this terrible, terrible illness, which has every single one of us in total unified attention right now. So in communities, we're taking this work and now we're commingling. We're breaking the little tiny spells of fear and pain and suffering as we move the Sankafoil. Sankafoil is for prosperity and luck and love, and it's for kindness and mercy. Sankafoil is an all-purpose hand of Mary. Sankafoil is called, like I said at the beginning of the broadcast. And the Whorehound itself is to break a hex or a curse or break a spell which is in place. Now, we know from watching other cultures around the earth a little bit more every single day about how this virus is moving around our planet and communities. And we also know that we are learning more each and every day. Do you understand? So dynamism is the main word. And just like how this broadcast began with the trash truck coming around, we're ending this with the trash truck coming around. So those of you that are highly sensitive know that you're about to hear the trash truck coming down my street. So that's good news. City services are still in place in my town. And I know that there are some places in America where cities are basically shutting down their services. Okay. And I think we'll probably see more and more of that, as I'm sure many of you have seen that Las Vegas is shutting down most of its hotels and restaurants and most of the town. So we're going to be hearing these things that kind of rock our minds and ask us to be even more communal and to commune with these new truths that are coming in each and every day. I use the whorehound in this spell to break the fear, to flatten this virus. So the nourishment of Sankofoil and the breaking down of the harshness of fear and misinformation and anxiety producing things. And even kind of, there's a little, unfortunately, there's some kind of like feeling of snake oil salesmen out there, folks that are kind of here for making money off of this, either selling toilet paper. Excuse me. Why don't we all take a sip? Or taking advantage of folks in other uniquely terrifying ways. Inside of the witch community, this is happening a bit too. So I'm going to do everything I can to create as much free magic as possible, because I think access is incredibly complex and a humongous privilege. So as we become a little bit more homebound, I am choosing to be very bound to you in this work. So Whorehound and Sankofoil will be burned throughout my property today, and I will round my little 3-bedroom single family home, burning this Sankofoil Whorehound for all of you. I'm holding space right now for you to speak any single word of hope that you have right now. What's a single word or short phrase that you could contribute to this collective right now to enliven this plant magic and the intellect of these plants that shall be burned and purifying this space later today? Do you have any well wishes that you would like to share with the collective? Do you have any wishes for hope and kindness that you would like to share today? Is there any good news that you'd like to share with the collective today that we could kind of bring forth? I'll tell you this, in that sandwich generation that I'm in, where I'm caring for my teenagers and holding space for the peak of their hormonal, stress hormonal life and passionate hormonal life, I'm also loving and caring for my parents in a really complicated dance with my 8 brothers and sisters, in the way that they need to be isolated, and yet they still are folks that feel very much a need to care for others. My parents are well in their bodies, and they live in a 55 and older small condo complex that has a lot of very elder folks in it. And my parents went around yesterday. It's 3 stories and about 50 different units, and they wiped down all the surfaces in the communal laundry rooms on each floor and all the communal doorknobs and door jambs. Well, one of my parents is 85 and one of my parents is 81, and they have various health challenges. They're well today, but they have various health challenges that they still wanted to use whatever goodness that they had and wellness that they had to protect others. So I'm sharing that good and complicated news with you right now, that that's happening, and that's part of my communal spell. So I would love to see the other stories that folks may be sharing right now of things that are happening in their life right now, sweethearts. Oh, you're welcome, Michelle. Love you so much, sweetie. Jennifer Watman is saying, or did I say that wrong? Is it Watman or Waldman? We are never broken. Cheesy comes from a Jewel song entitled Hands from the 90s. I love you. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Jennifer. I have lots of stories of driving through the desert at night with windows open and a pack of witches in the car singing Jewel songs in the 90s at the top of our lungs. So I got a lot of room for that. And I'm so, so glad that you shared a song that's called Hands, as Sankofoil is the core of this spell. And I told you that it is also better known as witch fingers or hand of Mary. So thank you for that. That's beautiful. We are never broken. Thank you. I'm going to share that on Instagram too. Minnie Mouse is sharing, let us share strength, empathy, power to one another and allow it to be shared with us. Oh, thank you so much, Minnie Mouse. And Amanda, thank you so much for sharing the single glorious word, unity, which is a word that's inside of community. That means everything to me. Thank you so much. I think what I'll do is share this in the description of the video today. I'll be home the rest of the day. And Tasha Giles says, stay safe, everyone. Thank you, Tasha. I appreciate that. And Fettle Witch says, communal compassion. I love you so much, Izzy. Thank you for that, darling. You're so awesome. And Samuel Gonzalez is sharing abundance. Samuel, I apologize. I wasn't been able to get to your moon tarot, and you generously have shared a word of abundance with us. I promise I'll get to you soon. Okay, sweetheart. So Leah Garza is with us, and thank you so much for being seen in our chat. Leah shares the answers already here. Wow. Leah Garza is Crystals of Altamira on Instagram. You must follow them immediately. They are also the director of programming over at Mostly Angels LA. I don't know what I would do without the sweethearts at Mostly Angels LA right now. Julian Sombrano is the owner. I have so much to share with you about Leah Garza, who is Crystals of Altamira. Like I said, they also have a budding podcast and YouTube channel called We Are Power Crystals that they share with a partner called Jason. I don't remember Jason's last name right off the top of my head. I hope that's okay. I love We Are Power Crystals. I love Leah and Jason, and I've invited them to come on to this broadcast and we can create a video together. So very soon as all of this sort of lifts and we're clear again, you will meet Leah and Jason on this channel. And I love you so much, Leah. Thank you for your wisdom. That is so real. The answer's already here. I feel so much simplicity in that knowing, that seed of truth, that the answer's already here. So thank you, Leah. Caitlin is sharing. Throughout this whirlwind, I'm falling in love with the new beloved. Love is alive and well and here for us all. Oh, Caitlin, thank you for sharing that. Oh, I love this so much. Oh my gosh, Jennifer. Oh my gosh, it's Jennifer. I love you so much. Mwah. Oh, I love you. That is so great that you made yourself extra known to me. Thank you for that. And I like it. Did you give me a fairy and a sun? I love it. Jewel song. We must ride through the desert with all the windows down, screaming Jewel songs when all of this blows over. And Jennifer promised me we end up at La Copine in Joshua Tree for a fabulous meal at the La Copine kitchen. Okay, sweethearts. And Michelle is saying everything can be very stressful right now. But remember, if you have pets, they have no idea what's going on. And let their ignorance remind us to let them love us with nothing but their full hearts. Oh, thank you so much for that. Michelle is I want to say, pet tender. So Michelle has many Instagram accounts, and one of them shows that they care for dogs for a living. Oh, thank you so much. So Bethany is here, and I believe that Bethany, that am I wrong? Are you here from Alaska? They share serenity and clarity, serenity and clarity. And Teresa is sharing love and peace to everyone. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, Leah, I love you so much. Yes, Jason Perez, thank you. Blue Rose Botanics on Instagram. Jason is Rose Botanics, and I'm just going to say my opinion. Their Instagram has been on fire lately. They've had some of the most gorgeous, beautiful, inspiring quotes. Inspo quotes are going off. Jason, I love you. I can't wait for you and Leah to be on this show. And just, you're amazing. And I can't. You give me so much life, you power crystals. You're the best. All right, sweethearts. Yes. Sun, moon. Oh, yeah. Well, okay. So you're driving? Great. I'm shotgun. That's awesome. Yay. Thank you, Bethany. I love that. So Samuel is saying no problem at all in time. Yes, thank you so much. And Samuel is saying, you love Leah and everyone at Mostly Angels. Yay. So we've got LA folks in the house. So darling loves, you know that this spell will be burned, and I will actually record that and put that in my Instagram stories today. Our spell for community shows us that the presence, that our being present is the spell. You know, I ain't fucking around when I tell you everything's a spell, so be about it. Enter your animal body to find your spirit and know that this spell is powerful and creates healing space and creates wellness and life. And what do we know about life? It always includes death. So the complexity, be in it. Turn your body fully. I like to say, it's a little saucy, so just hold on to yourselves for a minute. I like to say tips and tits forward. Face fully your work that you're doing. Face fully your feelings with your fingertips, toe tips, and tits. That means you're fully lined up. All energies are lined up towards the work that you're doing. Oh, I love you all so, so very much. I'll check one last time to see if there are other words that need to be spoken from Jason. I'm so thrilled that you're here. That's lovely. Hi, Angela Mary, says Jason Perez. You've been thinking of me so much lately and feeling all the cozy, potent magic you're sending all of us. So glad to be in community care with all of you. Well, very soon, when this era shifts and changes, I'm looking so forward to the concatenation, which is one of my favorite words, which means dovetailing and weaving and coming together and commingling of our works here on my YouTube channel. We'll figure it out. If it all goes to shit, I'll make a video, you'll make a video, and I'll edit them together, whatever. I'm not scared. Let's do this. Things need to be purified now and then. I love you all, my darlings. Please, please remember that magic is your birthright and everything's a spell. And this is my spell. See you soon.